Today on the show, we are very lucky to have Odessa Sanchez, Isis Glover, and Olivia Medina. Whew, God, I said that right. And Odessa is the high school Raiders cheer team coach. She is a former NS senior class president, Pop Warner cheer coach, and Caribbean American Pageant Queen. Her goal is to instill pride and poise amongst the young women in her community and beyond. Odessa feels that cheer is an exhilarating sport that grooms young people into team-oriented leaders of the future. And cheer promotes teamwork, athleticism, community spirit, and to say the least. The Wellesley Raiders Cheer team consists of students in grades 9 through 12 cheering for varsity football and basketball games at the high school. And outside of being varsity cheerleaders, the team also makes appearances for local events. Isis is, or was the head cheer captain last year, and this year she'll be attending Columbia College Chicago in the fall. Is that right?
Yes, it is.
Congratulations.
Thank you.
And then we have Olivia, who is new to Wellesley. She just moved here from New Jersey last September.
Yep.
And she was actually named by the townsman the Athlete of the Week last fall. Is that right?
Yes.
Well, great. Welcome to Wellesley. And you're also on the cheer team. Are you one of the captains?
Yes.
One of the captains this year. So awesome. Well, welcome, ladies.
Thank you for having us.
We're very excited to have such spirited, interesting, fun people on the show today. So tell us about Wellesley Cheer. Tell us about cheering. What does it take? I'll start with you, Odessa, as a coach.
As well, coaching, I think for cheer has its same challenges as any coach of any of the other sports, football, soccer, volleyball, where you would need in a high school level to always get proper practice space. That's always a challenge because this school system has a plethora of opportunities for students to play. We only have one building, so we all have to share space. And that can be a challenge, as well as girls getting sick. Just like with any other coach, you'd have to face those challenges where you would have to work around players that can't participate, or if they need a week off. And also we accommodate family issues and traveling and things like that. So that's always a challenge with school sports.
Right. And are you folks a travel team as well?
No, but this is Wellesley, and a lot of the children have opportunities to go out and about and travel abroad. And so we just like to accommodate having a full team throughout the whole season. Right. And with kids being away or college tours, sometimes that can be difficult.
Sure. And I said, where did you grow up? Did you grow up around here?
I actually grew up in Newton, and I was at the Newton South High School, and that's where I became senior class president. And I was very active in school activities, student government, as well as track team. I was pretty good, pretty decent track runner.
All right. So tell me quickly about the Caribbean pageant scene.
Well,
I
started that later in life. Before college, I actually decided to raise my self-esteem, actually, because I always was more skinny and unsure of myself. And I thought that perhaps going into modeling and pageants would kind of break me out of my shell. And I found a great opportunity because I have a Caribbean background, that they had a local pageant called the Caribbean American Queen. And I enjoyed that because it just gave me an example of sisterhood and poise and grace and public speaking opportunities, and I got to go out within my community, and those are the type of the skills that I teach the girls now, because as cheerleaders we do go out in the community and we like to speak, and appearance is important as well as athleticism. So I just tap into my beauty pageant training, and I try to make sure the girls always look their best and feel their best.
Right. And I'm sure that's much harder than it looks and sounds. Because a lot of times people ask you questions or say things and you want to just blurt something out, but then you have to sort of think about it for a second, and so the training comes in handy.
It does. What we tell the girls, we are Wellesley High School cheer teammates, but we also are Wellesley representatives, and we're student ambassadors. So we go off into the community, our local community as well as beyond, and we're wearing, the colors of the school. We're trying to show people what our team and our town is made out of. So what we do and what we say will be a reflection of the school. So just to keep that responsibility when you're out there.
Right. Excellent. Wow. So how did you get into cheering, especially at Wellesley?
Well, I had a daughter, Jayla Glover, and she was a senior in 2015, and she decided to start the club that had been they had removed the squad due to budget cuts. So she decided to bring it back, and she said, "Mom, we just need a coach," and she knew of my Pop Warner coaching experience. So I told her that I definitely would help her out as long as she could get the administrators to be on board. And so although we are not approved as an official school team, we definitely have the support of the administration, and they allow us to operate, and they give us anything that that is within their realm. They give us so we can make sure that the girls are out there representing the boys, and they go out and they cheer at all the games, and they receive varsity letters for their participation if they complete the season.
Oh, nice. So this is the year. You're going to be an approved team this year. This is it.
We're hoping so.
Yes, right?
We're hoping
That's
so.
it. All right. So it's good. It's good that we've announced that now, so it's gonna happen.
It's definitely the 5-year plan.
Into the universe.
Yes,
It's definitely the 5-year plan.
Yeah.
Because, we're a 3-year club.
Right.
And so we are young, and we are growing, and we're building. And I'd like us to build to the point where once we do become recognized and they make us sanctioned, we are actually in the competitive sound that we need to be, a good foundation.
Exactly. Wow. So Isis, tell us about your experience. What brought you into the world of cheering?
Well, I've been cheering since I was probably 6 years old. Is that correct?
Yes.
I did Pop Warner for the South End Titans, and I just always loved cheer. I've never been captain before, so last year was definitely a different experience for me, and it was new for the girls who have never been on a sports team before, or ever done cheer or dance before.
Right.
And so it was just new for everybody, and we worked together, and there was sometimes like difficulty with maturity, because we're all in high school and we're all learning a new skill, and we have the kind of assumptions pushed against us, and so we just try to not be insecure and kind of build ourselves up, and stay strong and work together as best we can, against the odds.
Yeah, it's okay. A lot of adults have problems with maturity too.
Yeah.
So, I've seen it happen. Go ahead, Olivia. Tell us about your foray into the world of cheerleading. Did you do this before you moved as well?
Yes.
Yeah.
I've been cheering for the past 5 or 6 years, but before I got into cheerleading, I was doing gymnastics. So I've always been in like similar types of sports.
Yeah.
My other team from the school that I moved from, we used to go to states and nationals, so it was a very big thing for us to do cheerleading. So it's kind of a change to come to Wellesley and see like people aren't as big on cheerleading. So I thought it was a really great opportunity to join the team that was just starting and help out girls who haven't like had as much experience in it.
Nice. Yep. Awesome. And Odessa, when you were little, did you think, this is what I'm going to do? One of these days, I'm going to head the cheerleading coach as a coach, and I'm gonna. This is it.
Yeah.
What was your deal?
No, honestly, no. But I have had the opportunity to share a lot of feedback with other coaches within the Bay State League, and a lot of us, we never thought we would be a cheer coach. But we talked and we said, you know what? No matter what your background is, if perhaps you're an artist or you're a writer or you're a teacher, whatever your skill set is, you can apply it to cheerleading. And whatever you need to learn, or certain techniques and things that you need to learn in order to help the team, you can always add to that and you can learn that. But you always have a set of skills that you have to offer those girls. And just leadership, loving them. I mean, Isis and Jayla were my daughters, but I love all the girls as if they were my daughters. And just giving them care and looking after them, and leadership, that's what you can offer to them. So I think it's perfect. I think I knew that I would be the type of person that would make a difference in kids' lives.
Right. So now you can write your book on how to raise 20 daughters.
Of course, I can.
So tell us about, what was I going to ask you? Tell us about your, why you think cheerleading is valuable. Feel free to start. Why is it valuable? Why is it something that brings real value?
Well, I think that, especially here in Wellesley, it's valuable for teamwork, for spirit. I think, especially in these times, we need to be energized, and we need to take pride in where we live and who we are. And I think cheerleading gives that type of pride and excitement because it allows people to have fun again at the games. It allows people to come enjoy a match and see people really forgetting about their troubles for a while. And I think that cheer just is nostalgic, and it just brings you back to a time where it was just simpler, and you just had a good time at the game, and it was all about having fun and teamwork and just being out there on the field and enjoying your community. And I think cheer, that definitely is exonerated with cheer.
And go ahead.
I think also the way that cheerleaders include the crowd, it's a better experience going to the games because it's just a lot more interactive, and you know, some people who aren't even really into sports will get excited seeing us do you know, flips and stunts and cheering on the boys, and us getting excited. It inspires the excitement for them watching the game. And I think for the cheerleaders themselves, I think that in this town, and especially the way this team started, it's made me, and I know a couple of other girls on the team, believe in themselves more, because there's a lot of people who doubted our ability to, you know, stick around and build ourselves up, and to get the attention that we were looking for cheerleading. So I think that it's just really, it inspires a lot of people, cheerleading, and I think that once we get going, and once we get a firmer ground in this town for cheerleading, it's going to be amazing. I think a lot of girls are going to believe in themselves more, and I think the town is going to believe in us, and you know, it'll turn out to be, you know, a good journey.
Yeah, value added.
Yeah.
Right.
Kind of like what Isis was saying, how a lot of people doubted the cheer team. We have to put ourselves out there with a smiling face and always look good. Like, it's a lot about appearances. So it kind of forces the girls to have a thick skin and not really care too much about what other people think of us, which is a great, like, personal value.
Absolutely.
And I'm sure that also comes across as a role model for other high school students who are having a bad day. And then they, you know, rain or shine, the game's on, and you have to be out there, and you have to let things roll off your back and, you know, do your job. And I'm sure that comes across as inspirational to other students who are, you know, finding it difficult to, you know, move past, you know, some bad experience that happened to them on that day, and, you know, and then see you. So
Yeah.
it's good. It's good.
We've had to stand in the rain before.
Yeah.
There were some kids at this really rainy and cold and just difficult game, and there were some kids in the stand who asked for our pom poms, and they were waving at us, and, you know, we couldn't use our pom poms; we were too cold. but you know, we gave them some, and they were waving it at us and trying to learn our cheers. And I think that that's a great example of how, even if you're not on the team, or, you know, just kids around the town are just seeing how persistent we are and how much we care about the game of football that's so important to this town, and they're going to believe in us.
Yeah, I think you're officially hardcore if you're cheering in the rain.
Oh, yeah.
And smiling about it.
Rain, snow, super windy, we've done it all.
Good grief. I know, that's hardcore right there. I think that would be the hardest for most people to do, is to come out there and regardless of whatever happened to them, you know, be smiling and cheer.
Yes.
To make other people happy. Right. That's really quite the sacrifice.
Thank you.
I know. So tell me about your experience. Has there ever been? Do you find it's easier or harder to motivate your team to get out there in the cold, rainy, wet Boston weather and do what they're supposed to do? Do you ever have a time where some of the girls say, "Oh my God, really? I'm soaked through. Can I just sit this one out and hide under the bleachers or something till the rain goes away?"
Well, I think with motivation, it's just all about the company that you keep. And we've got some great girls on our squad. Every year since we started for the past 3 years, we've had great girls that they didn't show up because they weren't sure if they wanted to do cheers. I mean, the girls that we end up, having after we, have the practice tryouts and things like that, they want to be there. If they're having a bad day, we just isolate that and we try to deal with the issue. It's all about bumping into somebody that's gonna turn you around by having something positive to say. So we just like to stress positivity, and that's how we motivate it. We're motivating each other. We're gonna watch me, stand next to me, I'll take you through. It's all about teamwork, and as long as we stress those things, that we self-motivate ourselves, because we look at each other and you don't want to let your teammate down.
Right.
So, you shake it off and you just get out there and do it.
Right, and I've also seen you come out for community investors, dodgeball events and stuff.
Yes.
And so I know you take this very seriously. You're there, you're training some of those girls and motivating them to come join cheer.
Yes, it's the middle school girls that we really want to reach, because some of them are still at the point where they're trying to decide what sport they want to do. So you want to let them know that cheer is there, and just let them know that we're behind them, and we want them to do something.
Right.
I just want to motivate girls that even if cheer isn't for you, get out there and do something. Pick a sport. Pick a instrument, pick a cause that is special to you, and get out there and do it, and just be involved. I think that if a child is involved in their school, they do better in school.
And so there's a lot of homework. There's research for motivational speeches. There's time, effort. So how much time and effort do you put into this? For example, just off the top of your head in a given week. Say once September starts.
So much.
Really, Isis is at home and sees me up late at night, so she knows.
We're up late making signs for games and rallies, and
watching videos.
We're up late researching different cross-referencing different prices for uniforms and pom-poms and new bows and sneakers, and
it's a full-time job.
But
it's very rewarding, and there's a lull. I mean, football season ends, and then we were able to do basketball season last year, and but after that it kind of gets quiet, and then you miss it. So it's just very, very intense, and but then when it's over, you have a rest, you have a break in between.
And do you think that if you get approved as an official school team, you might expand out to other sports like track and hockey and
Definitely. I've spoken to alumni cheerleaders, and they told us that when Wellesley High School cheer was at the top of its game, they were cheering at soccer games, they were cheering at volleyball games, they were cheering at hockey games. So that's what our goal is, our future goal is.
Right. And if someone wants to make a donation, where would they go? Is there a website?
Olivia?
We don't have a website right now, but you can mail a check to the school, 50 Rice Street, or you can check out our social medias and contact us through there. Almost all of our handles are going to be Raiders Cheer.
Okay, so it's if I go on Facebook, I look up Wellesley High School Raiders Cheer. And then we can find you.
And
Facebook,
on
Instagram, Twitter.
And Twitter is Wellesley_cheer.
Okay, great. Good to know. And then people who want to donate to your cause can just drop off a check at the high school.
Just go to the high school as long as they
drop
let
your
them know
child
that
off
it's
and then
made
you
out
drop
for
off a
Wellesley
check.
Raiders Cheer,
Yes.
and they'll get it to us.
Okay. Do they have to put Odessa Sanchez?
No, just Wellesley Raiders Cheer.
Sure. Good to know. All right. So tell us about some of the issues that you guys are facing, other than the stuff that we've talked about in terms of not actually being an official team right now.
I think one of the largest ones is misconceptions. People not understanding our squad. I think the toughest label that we get is that perhaps that we're not as good as other squads, and I think it's really misplaced, because it's not really about the talent. We're a very young squad. We're a new building team, and I just wish that people would label us as such. We're growing, And with that, you will see the bumps and the scratches along the way, but we're improving as we go. And those girls are doing just as good as they could with what they were given. So I'm just so amazed and proud of them every day. And I think that one of the other misconceptions is that Wellesley doesn't appreciate or need cheer. And I speak to more people who are supportive of cheer than I speak to those that aren't. So that's just one of the issues that we have, is just to make sure that everyone knows that we're just a growing team, and that everyone knows that we are wanted in the town, and that there's people that are so excited. I bump into women who say they used to be a cheerleader, and it makes them feel so good to see us out there. And it broke their heart when the team didn't have a squad on the sidelines. So I think that's great.
Yeah, I don't think I've ever heard anyone make the comment, we don't need more cheer.
Yeah.
I know. I think if I could, I would just hire my own private cheerleading group.
To follow you
Yeah,
around.
just follow me around and just cheer, you know.
Yeah.
Just I stop off at home, just do a little cheer.
Yeah.
And I drive back out, do a little cheer.
Yeah.
You know, works for me. I have no issues with that one.
I think it's just that Wellesley has a lot of pride, and I just think that they, since we're not a perfect team yet, they're kind of skeptical and a little embarrassed that like we're just this kind of, you know,
struggling.
We're struggling so much, but I think that if we just get a little bit more support, then you know we can be the team that you know they want in this town.
Yeah, I mean, it's kind of unfair to try to compare you guys to the Dallas Cowboy cheerleaders.
Right. But I mean, we wouldn't mind being compared to the Patriots cheerleaders.
Yeah, I'll just put that out there.
Actually, a little known fact is that the first owner of the New England Patriots, which was called the Boston Patriots, was Billy Sullivan, and he was a Wellesley resident. And when he first was building that NFL team, they had no cheerleaders. And he reached out to the athletic director at Wellesley High, and he asked for the Wellesley High School cheerleaders to cheer on the sidelines for. So Wellesley Cheer was the first cheerleaders for the Boston Patriots, which is now the New England Patriots.
What a great historical connection.
We have history, and you know we have a lot of pride that we should be showing out there. And I let the girls know every time I get a chance, because that's what we're about.
Nice. So when is your first? When can we go out and see you? When is the first game that you'll be out at?
The first game is September 9th on Saturday, and it will be at the Wellesley home field, the Garvey field. That is the brand new track and field.
That field is so pretty.
It's very beautiful.
So nice to just be out there, especially if you're used to the old field.
Yes.
And you take every chance you can to come out to this.
It's beautiful.
It's very nice. Yes.
Awesome.
We're very grateful to.
And what time is the game?
The game is at 3 o'clock, I believe.
Yeah.
But they could always check the website of the school. The school website will have the game times.
Right. And if people want to come early and support you and bring you snacks and we need water. Always need water to hydrate and snacks to fuel the girls. And we're usually there hours before the game, practicing, warming up.
In the dance room.
In the dance room.
Yeah, or the gym. So
nice. Yeah. So people can stop by and contact you through social media.
Yes, or our athletic director, Jim Brown.
And even if it's not a game day, if you just want to donate any snacks or water. Or money or equipment, mats to the cheer squad, you can just drop them off at 50 Rice Street in the main office.
The main office, great. Awesome. So you're going to see the people sitting there, and they're going to have this large stash of stuff.
Right next to their desk. We're not going to know where to put it.
Awesome. That's great. Anything else you ladies would like to add? Any other experiences you want to share? Give us a good cheer story that nobody else knows. Anything that comes to mind?
No, I don't think so. Just, if you're watching this and you have a daughter who is not doing a sport and she could, use some empowerment, like we all could, sign her up for Wellesley Raiders Cheer.
And you ladies sound like you're very inclusive, very nice.
Oh yeah.
Group.
Oh yes, we're very warm, very inviting.
Very diverse.
We take care of each other, and it's definitely open, and we accept everyone.
Nice. Can't beat that. Good. Excellent. Well, I was so glad. So happy to have you on. I don't think I've ever had amazing cheerleaders on the show. So this is great. And we'll have to have you back at the end of the season. And
definitely.
You'll have to tell us how it went.
Great.
Right? No pressure on you, cheer captain.